Hi guys, it is Nija. Welcome back to my channel. So tonight we're going to do something that I've wanted to do for a little while now. A reading. I'm going to give you guys a reading if you are open to receiving it, and if not, it's totally fine. Just so you guys know, I'm a very casual reader. I read like I'm just like talking to a friend. I let us get some messages and we see how we can apply them to our life. So I hope you guys are doing well. And I want to go ahead and get started. So the message that I got pertaining to this new year and how we're going to be moving in this new era, the message I got was finding your new identity. Okay, so for a lot of us, we haven't been, I'm going to start shuffling right now too while I talk. We haven't been in alignment with the versions of ourselves that we're supposed to be. And as a result of that, it can feel like we are really suffering, because when you are not the version of yourself that you're supposed to be, when you're out of alignment with the version of yourself that you are supposed to be, it feels like you are suffering inside a prison that you created for yourself, right? And so I think our guides just want us to shake off the resistance a little bit. And so we're going to get some advice on how we can do that. So angels, guides, and helpers, for our highest and greatest good, what advice do you have for the collective and for myself for this new year is coming up? All right. The first thing is the 6 of coins. So right off the bat, I am seeing that we're going to be coming into a time where our material possessions are going to be not only called into question, but they're going to be highlighted, which makes sense because I think right now we are in Capricorn season and the new year starts in Capricorn season, and that is just all about your foundations and how you climb to the top and what are you doing to put yourself where you desire to be, right? And again, earth energy is about the foundation. And this is a big theme that I've heard intuitively for myself, is that the very first quarter of the year is definitely going to be about building foundation. Now, again, we're not in technically the official new year because the new year actually starts in the springtime, not in the winter time. But right now is a great time to start making the plans and laying the foundation of a lot of us are really going to be taking off in the new year, but it does require us to spend a little bit of time thinking about who do we want to be next? What do we want to experience next? These are very important questions to be asking ourselves at this moment in time. The next thing is 8 of Wands. So once you know exactly what it is that you want, this year is going to be a really important year to start taking inspired action. And I said this in a video on my main channel, but the action that you take, it needs to be from a place of love for yourself, okay? You need to start taking action of a place not from fear of getting punished if you don't, but from a place of I love myself so much that I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to do that out of the love that I have for myself. Okay. So, yeah, I want to get some more messages. Let's see what's going on. I feel like there's just a lot of resistance around people, and another reason why there's so much resistance is because we're checked into the external world instead of being checked in internally, meaning that we're more concerned what's going on the news, what's going on in the media. So-and-so just got arrested for this, and this company is in trouble for that. And, like a lot of things are going to be popping off in our reality to distract us from doing this self-work, from doing this inner work, and from tapping in to being more aligned with ourselves, from taking more aligned action. 2023 is the year of taking aligned action. What does that look like? And again, we have that 8 of Wands here. It looks like knowing who you want to be. You must know who you want to be next. And then you must begin taking action as if you are that version of yourself now. And anytime you are taking action, not from the version of yourself that you want to be, understand your action is out of alignment. For example, the version of myself that I am right now, I might say, yeah, it's okay for me to drink a cup of coffee. It's okay for me to have 3 cups of coffee. It's fine. That's who I am. I identify with doing that because that version of myself that I currently am identifies with that, right? But if the dream version that I want to be, if I see who that person is in my head and they do not drink coffee, understand that having that cup of coffee right now where I am is making me out of alignment with who I say I want to be. So again, 2023 is all about taking aligned action. Aligned action is so important because in the past, sometimes we were taking action and we were doing it because other people said we should, because we saw other people doing it, because we saw society doing it. And we're like, oh, I guess I should act this way. I need to behave this way because that's how everyone else does it. Little did you know, you are self-sacrificing when you take action from a place of, oh, other people are doing it, so I'm just going to do it. It's inauthentic to your true identity. It's so inauthentic. And you're doing yourself a disservice when you are taking action from an inauthentic place, okay? But some of us, we won't even know that we're being inauthentic because we don't know the version of ourselves that we want to be next. We're still taking action from the version of ourselves that we are now. Little do we know, we're never going to get to the place that we want to be in because we're never taking action from the mind of the version of ourselves that we want to be. This is a major key, okay? So again, in 2023, it is all about taking inspired action from the mind of the version of yourself that you want to be. And you're going to notice you're going to have a lot less resistance. You're going to face so much. You guys, do you understand that resistance comes when we are living out of alignment with who we're supposed to be? Think about somebody who is an artist, right? And they're like a painter. They're an artist. They're a painter. Their creative energy and juices just flow so freely, and they can just pick up their paintbrush and just, design their picture, and they do it because they love it and nobody told them to do it. It's just in their heart. And so they're following their heart, and it's just easy. It's easy for them to come up with ideas and to, fulfill the manifestation of painting the picture. It's easy. It comes second nature because they're in flow. Now imagine if someone told the artist, I don't think you're a painter. I don't think you're a painter. You seem like a mechanic to me. You should try being a mechanic, right? And someone said that, being a mechanic will pay the bills. I don't know what you're doing with that art stuff, but, being a mechanic will pay the bills. Maybe you need to look into that, right? And then you make the decision to become a mechanic out of the fear of not being able to support yourself. And because someone else told you to do it, you are out of alignment, okay? So this year is really like, God is making it very clear what actions need to be taken. And sometimes it is scary taking action from that aligned place. Why? Because the version of yourself that you want to be is trying to keep you safe. That's why you're repeating the same old patterns. Because the version of yourself that you're like, well, I've been doing this for the past year. I've been doing this for the past 6 years. And I've been safe. I'm still alive. So if I do something different, that threatens my mortality. That am I going to be safe? Right? Of course, the ego wants to keep us safe. In the past, if we went against society or went against the group think, bad things would happen to us. So of course, we always want to. Of course, this is why it's like a scar in our DNA is to check in with what the collective thinks is appropriate, check in with what society thinks is appropriate, because again, in the past, if we didn't do what the group thought, we would be ostracized, we'd be an outcast, and outcasts don't get fed and outcasts get eaten by lions. So we need the protection of the group. In the past is how we used to think. But in this day and age, it is safer now more than ever to just be who you desire to be. Okay? So it's really important to just, again, we're letting resistance fall off by just literally taking action from that aligned place. Okay, you guys? So next is we have the 9 of Voices and Justice. Okay, so I'm saying this is all about, it's 2 parts. How you speak about yourself. How do you speak about yourself? First thing. How do you speak about what you think you deserve? Okay? How do you, are the things that you're saying, are they helping you or are they hindering you, right? Like, when you see your reality, do you say what you see or do you say what you desire to see? Major key, I would suggest you say what you desire to see, instead of literally like spewing out your mouth. Like, this is word vomit. When we say what we see, we will continue to be recreating what we see, even if that's not what we want to experience. So this next season of life does require a little bit of delusion until you start to see your desires materialize. It will require a little bit of delusion. And I'm seeing in the first quarter, a lot of us we're really going to take advantage of the rest that we need. A lot of us need rest before we start ending these cycles. So you'll notice a lot of people might be very tired. Don't be surprised if you are very tired at this time. Again, remember, it's not technically the New Year's yet. So you might still be recharging your battery. It might not be go time for you yet, but it is definitely time to start thinking about who do you want to be next. And I think that is what is being highlighted right now. Okay. And with the Justice card coming out next, I really feel like a lot of us are going to be getting what we deserve. We're going to be getting what we deserve. Justice is going to be served, but only to those who choose to be in alignment with who they know they need to be next is so important. Okay. So God wants us to know that, the action you've been taking in the past few years has not been in vain. Maybe your manifestation wasn't quite ready yet in the past, but hey, it can be ready. It can be ready. Literally, God wants to give us whatever it is that we want, but sometimes we're just not ready to receive it yet. And God is not going to let us ruin what is for us. So sometimes the gift is delayed so that you don't destroy it, right? I remember when I was growing up, my grandma and my grandpa, one year for Christmas, they got me and all of my sisters a beautiful golden little necklace, right? And it was made of real gold, but we were too young to appreciate how valuable and precious the gift was, right? And so as little girls, little kids, some of us lost our necklace. I think one of my sister's necklaces broke, right? And so you see what happens when you are given a gift before you are able to see the value in it. You squander it, right? And so, for a lot of us, we've been in this standstill place because we're waiting to see the value in what we've been given and what we're going to be given before it actually arrives, which is so important. So yeah, are there any more messages? Any more advice moving into the new year? What can we be aware of? What do we need to look at? So we have Pillar of Light. These cards are so beautiful, by the way. And this card says, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Okay, so let's talk about this vibration raise. Can we talk about this really quick? And I think this is going to be the last card that I pull in this reading. Your vibration is rising right now. And I'm saying this because a lot of people have not made it through this period of, you can call it the period of tribulation. You can call it the period of God, the universe source, turning up the heat on the planet, meaning it's getting a lot more chaotic and people are really losing their ish. It is important that your vibration continues to rise. And this time, more than ever before, we have to keep rising in vibration. Why is it so important? Because again, we're going to keep seeing crazy things happen. And why is it happening? Because the pendulum needs to swing all the way to the right or to the left, whatever side it's on right now, so that we can be catapulted into this new era of fixing our society and civilization the way that we know it. Okay, so we are noticing a lot of crazy things happening on the world stage, but it's important not to feed into it, not to buy into it, not to absorb too much. You have to be careful, even on social platforms like TikTok, right? And sometimes we can, and I know I'm speaking for myself, something crazy will happen in the world. And instead of just saying, oh, wow, that's wild, we have to jump down the rabbit hole and absorb as much information as possible about the thing that just happened, right? Little did we know, we are tampering with our vibration. we're tampering with it. And so it's really important to stay high vibrational. What does that even look like in a day where, or in the modern day where things are just so chaotic and crazy? It looks like when something crazy comes out onto the world stage, you can observe and be aware of it without latching onto it and without self-identifying to it. For example, like what they say, like a recession's coming, we can be aware of what is being said without feeling the need to attach to it, without feeling the need to make everyone's story your story, right? It's important that you remember how to write your own story in this new era. Stop letting the news tell you what your story is going to be. Stop letting your friends and family tell you what your story is going to be. And really just, you have to start creating your world as if you are writing your story. And again, that is why it's so important to tap into who do you want to be next, because knowing who you want to be next will help you to write your story and not allow society or the world around you to write your story for you. Okay, so in 2023, we are taking inspired action from that place of, the higher self, the higher version, or from the version of yourself that you desire to be next. And we are also focusing on taking action from a place of love for ourselves and continuing to raise our vibration, not because the world around, like we're going to see the world around us get crazy. It is important that you remain sovereign in who you are and remain sovereign in who you are becoming. And don't let what is going on visibly in our reality take you out of alignment with where God says we're going next, because we are going places, we are going somewhere. But if you are letting fear overcome you, if you were letting division overcome you, if you were letting anything that you were allowing to stop you from taking action from that aligned place, it could be your detriment. So just be very intentional about what you do. Be intentional about what you say. Be intentional about who you spend your time with. Be intentional about how you are exerting your energy. You guys, your energy is your currency. I don't care what anybody says. People say like it's money. People say it's power. People say it's, influence, fame. No, your energy is your power. Your energy is your currency. Okay? Because you are a being who is alive and breathing, you have unlimited resources because you have unlimited energy, and energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It is your responsibility to learn how to wield your energy to start attracting the things into your life that you want. And I'm going to leave that as that. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in with me, for checking out what we're talking about. I really hope that this year is like no other year for everybody in the most high vibrational way possible. It is a year 7 if you're into numerology. And so that is all about spirituality, people tapping in and going through their own personal awakenings. And so I really believe that is what we're all going to be experiencing in our own way, an awakening, but not just a regular awakening. This awakening is going to feel like a revival, like a replenishing of the soul, because we are going to be aware of how to live in alignment with the version of ourselves that we want to be next. And I, for one, am extremely excited about that. So you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please, please, please thumbs it up, because it is absolutely 100% free and it'll help other people to find this message. And we want to make sure as many people as possible can, get what they need when they need it. Okay. I love you, and I will see you in my next video.